Hey friends, welcome back to the house this week for another drink. This week we are covering another travel find, and although it's very tough to see in the camera because everything is just gold.
I love gold!
But this is actually the Whistler Beekeeper Select Irish Honey. I picked this up in one of my visits out in Nebraska, and there are only 2 places in the state of Ohio that actually have this available.
And both of them are a drive.
Yes, they are a drive.
Bit of a hike for us.
Yes, just a tad. Not as far as Nebraska. But if this turns out to be really good, at least we know that we don't have to go back to Nebraska to get more of it. So, I am excited about this because both of us absolutely love honey. Honey in
Yes.
tea, honey on biscuits, honey in our whiskey,
Straight honey.
or just straight honey. It's absolutely delicious. So when I saw this, I absolutely had to pick it up because I have not seen this online and have not seen anybody actually mention it. So we're going to dive into this, which is going to be one of several Irish whiskeys that we are going to be exploring as we build up towards our honeymoon. Yeah.
Yes, that sounds good.
So the Whistler, as I've mentioned, is an Irish honey whiskey, and it is made in Boann Distillery. There was once 18 distilleries in the town of Drogheda. Now there's a lot of distilleries in one town. Mm-hmm. I'm very curious as to how in the world they actually functioned, and did they have all the same spirits? Did they have different spirits?
I mean, you're talking about Ireland. You're talking about a town in Ireland in the 1800s, right?
Yeah. How big was that
18
town? How many
distilleries.
people are there?
Does it matter?
Well, I mean, I guess it doesn't. when you try to think of the full scope, I'm like, wow, that's a lot.
It is a lot, but it also, we don't know how big those distilleries are. Did they have giant pot stills like what we think of today with today's mass production? Or were they probably smaller shops like a pub where you could get that pub's whiskey?
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
Specially made just for that one pub.
Could just be a little still in the backyard behind somebody's house.
Could be.
Yeah, which is
Could
probably
be.
pretty likely.
Mm-hmm.
With that, the last one of those 18 was actually shut down in the 1850s. Now, after 160 years, the Cooney family decided to bring back the history with their custom handcrafted copper stills and making use of the best casks available for aging. That's one cool part of the story.
Mm.
So definitely long history there for local. But then on the other side of that story is more on the new. So the head distiller, his name is Michael. Unfortunately online does not have his last name at all. It's just Michael.
You know, I probably conceal that fact too.
Huh. I don't know. I guess with a little bit of research, because they did list his university and everything, you probably could find it. But I don't know, Michael is maybe a very common name.
Internet sleuths.
Yeah, if you happen to know his last name, let us know. But the cool thing about Michael is that he is the head distiller, I think I said, and he is only 29 years old. He is Ireland's youngest head distiller.
Wow.
That's crazy. That is just crazy. So you have all of this history, and then you got a young buck who is really the head distiller there, and he's got a degree in chemical engineering. So with that degree, then he earned his general certificate in distilling, and with those, he quickly rose through the ranks there in Ireland and received his first appointment in 2014.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So 8 years now, he's been the head distiller. And there's some cool things about the Whistler and the actual distillery and how they make these as well.
There really is. So what the Cooney family and what Michael brought to the town of Drogheda is not just the reintroduction of solid Irish whiskey, but they also brought in some true 21st century practices. Every raw ingredient is 100% natural and 100% local. So maybe that's not 21st century. But this next part is. Every drop of water is drawn from their Boyne Valley well, but they operate a closed loop system. So every single bit of that water is fully recycled. So you're not necessarily just drawing all the water and dumping it out. Whatever water is not going into the whiskey is then being recycled. So the heat generated from that recycled water helps run the packaging lines and heats the restaurant, the visitor center, and the offices.
That is so damn cool.
So you have recycled water generating all of this extra heat because just of the distillation process, and now you're using it to heat. You're not having to be a burden on the power grid.
Yeah.
That's really cool. That truly is 21st century.
It takes what a lot of the distillers that we've been reviewing about local, using farm to bottle to a whole new level, is that now everything is green and every bit is either going back or it's being used for something else.
And maybe it's not necessarily 21st century concepts. I'm pretty sure that back in the day, the fermentation tanks were used for some sort of heating or other uses, but not at this level.
Yeah.
This level of industry is just newly green, 21st century. And on top of all of that, any of the byproducts from their distillation, so the pot ale and any of the spent grains, are gathered up and used as animal feed. So that's a pretty common practice for a lot of companies. A lot of breweries and distilleries will do this. So I'm pretty sure that reintroduction of the spent grains is welcome in the economy.
Mm-hmm.
So we have the Irish honey here, and because it's Irish honey, guess what? It has real local honey in it.
Shocker.
Shocker. So they're combining family traditions, the Boyne master distiller, family beekeeper, and the master blender all came together and created the Irish honey line. So this is one of 3 in there's this particular special release that the Whistler has done. And they've just come together beautifully. It is the finest whiskey, smoothest honey, and freshest cream in Ireland. So they take some of the finest ex-bourbon matured Irish whiskey. So they're making Irish whiskey and then maturing it in bourbon casks, because like you do.
Yeah. Why not?
And then they're infusing it with the honey from their family farms. That just sounds really cool and delicious.
Delicious. Yes.
So, you wanna crack it open?
I do.
So the tasting notes on this are promised to be honeycomb. Not surprised. Not surprised with the honeycomb. Caramel, candied almonds, and undertones of Irish whiskey. So this is going to be liquid gold, liquid honey.
It sounds like very forward of all the sweet things, and then the Irish honey.
The Irish whiskey on the
or
end.
Irish whiskey on the end there.
I wish.
Which, I mean...
I wish we were in Ireland.
Soon, my dear, soon. But if I had my choice of what I'd want to lead with. That's it. All the sweetness.
I wish y'all could smell this.
Man, the legs are amazing on this.
That's probably the honey. Give it a smell.
Oh man.
I mean, you want to talk about sweet. This, to me, it smells like a field of clover.
Yeah, this is where you want smell-o-vision.
And caramel. Clover and caramel.
That I was gonna say, caramel I pick up a lot on. The honey is very light. It's a very light smell.
Very light on
Yeah,
the nose.
and then you pick up on the caramel, and then the little bit of the fragrance of the whiskey. Oh man.
You want to give it a taste?
Yeah, of course.
Cheers.
Cheers. Oh my God. This almost is like a liqueur.
It really is a little bit more of a liqueur. It's very sweet. I do pick up on that little bit of whiskey taste, but it's so heavy on the honey flavor. But it's not like, you know, your little Pooh Bear little squeeze bottle of honey. It's like
Pooh Bear.
You know, little honey bear. It's not like that. It's literally just like the raw natural honey that I buy.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely not a manufactured type of honey, but it is incredibly smooth. It has that thicker mouthfeel like a liqueur. Just a very slight hug at the end to remind you that, oh, this is whiskey that you're drinking.
I only feel it warming my tummy. So the palate on this is described officially as healthy whiskey followed by creamy vanilla and caramel with honey and almonds at the end.
This is absolutely delicious.
I think this would be kind of dangerous. This feels like I could get a very healthy buzz going on without realizing it.
Well played. That was good. I didn't even see that coming. That was good.
Float like a butterfly. Butterfly sting like a bee.
Butterfly?
Butterfly sting like a bee.
Where is this at? This is 33% ABV, 66 proof. So that explains some of that, the low hug and very smooth piece to this. Oh, I'm gonna have to get more bottles of this.
This is definitely one that you would want to keep on hand. So maybe something as an aperitif. You're got some sweetness. Can you imagine this in your morning tea, afternoon tea, or any tea whatsoever?
I am very happy that I picked this up.
I am happy you picked this up.
I can guarantee you this bottle will not last in this household. We have to keep some for visitors that are coming soon, but otherwise it's going to go very quickly.
So some, like this much?
Yeah, they get samples.
Get little tasters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Little tasters, that's it. That's all they get.
Yeah, full shot.
Sorry, not sorry.
Not sorry. I'm firmly in the not sorry camp. We have the mezcal for them.
Yes. But for this week, thank you once again for joining in, experiencing another spirit with us and its fantastic history and story. Hope to see you again next week for another drink. But until then, take care, stay safe. We'll see you then. Bye.
Bye.